Welcome back to the Avattack. I'm your host, Prescott Chambers. The Avalanche shit the bed in this game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. I was expecting a bounce back for this one as the Avs had a lackluster performance in game 1 and fell to the Knights 4-2. No update on Makar. He is still out, and I'm just hoping for his return as soon as possible, as I'm sure everyone is. Mark Stone is also still out, but Vegas had a strong performance in game 1 without him and took advantage of a lot of Colorado's mistakes. So, starting goalies were once again Carter Hart and Scott Wedgwood. Period 1, we get a good amount of feeling out the ice in the starting minutes. Vegas creates more chances early, but Wedgie looks locked. The physicality starts to ramp up, and we see some checks being delivered. With 5 minutes left in the first, shots on goal are 12-8 in favor of Las Vegas, who seem to have more momentum. But at 16:59, Ross Colton knocks in a rebound on the doorstep, assisted by Brent Burns and Nazem Kadri to put the Avs on the board first. The Knights try to push to tie before the end of the first, but after one, it's 1-0 Avalanche. Period 2, not long into the second, at 1:33, Marty Necas gets called for not one but two separate minors, and the Avs have a big 4-minute power play to kill. Shortly into the kill at 2:19, Jack Eichel gets sent to the box for an interference on Leckie, and we get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Vegas gets about a minute of remaining power play, which Colorado kills off. More back and forth possession ensues, and shots on goal even out at 14-14. The Avs seem to be in control halfway through and are pushing the pace of game 2. Checks are still flying left and right. Kadri and Anderson collide center ice, and neither had the puck. Icing gets waved off in the Vegas end, and Kadri almost rips one past Hart, but he makes the save. We get a good little scrum by the Knights net, and another after a whistle. Waugh gets sent to the box on a soft-ass hooking call on Nick Dowd. Waugh also takes a stick to the face that doesn't get called. The Avalanche play a very aggressive penalty kill. Manson gets a cut after going face first into the boards after a hit on Barbashev and heads to the locker room to get patched up. Finally, at 18:42, the Avs get their first power play of the game after a slash on Necas from Shea Theodore. Colorado gets a couple good chances, but Vegas kills the first minute and 18 seconds, and we head to the third still with a score of 1-0 Avalanche. Period 3, the Avs have 42 seconds of power play to start the third. Vegas is able to kill, but at 1:58, Theodore goes right back to the box for a hook on McKinnon, putting the Avs right back on the power play. They don't get much on this one either, and the Knights kill. At 4:48, Brent Burns gets sent to the box after Hurdle embellishes a high stick, and Vegas gets yet another power play. Wedgwood makes a massive save on a dangerous doorstep try from Mitch Marner, and the Avs kill. It feels like the Avs are losing a lot of energy as time moves on, and at 9:15 it shows when Jack Eichel wires one past Wedgie and Devon Taves, who definitely should have gotten away. Way too easy of a shot for Eichel, and ties it up at 1 with assists from Pavel Dorofeev and Ivan Barbashev. Then not long after, at 11:22, Barbashev rings one bar down to put Vegas in the lead, assisted by Eichel and Dorofeev. It's now suddenly 2-1 Las Vegas. At this point, it feels like the Avs are getting picked apart on every zone entry. The refs are making some questionable calls, but can't really blame that on the refs at this point. Can't really blame the loss on the refs, at least. We really just fell apart and started to play terribly. With just under 3 minutes left, Wedgie heads to the bench for the extra man, but Vegas gets the empty netter, and Game 2 ends with a final score of 3-1 Golden Knights to put them up 2-0 in this series. Overall, I'm pissed. Not gonna lie. And I'm upset. They held the lead for almost 50 minutes and let themselves fizzle out and allowed Vegas to tilt the ice and get the lead. One goal is just not enough of a lead, especially in the playoffs if the Avs aren't going to play a full 60 minutes of hockey. I don't know what to say. The crappy calls definitely didn't help, but there just wasn't enough consistent zone pressure or effort at all from the Avalanche, and the defense felt pretty sloppy tonight. Maybe they need a road trip. Hopefully it takes some pressure off of them and they just get back to playing their game. On the other side of the playoffs, in the Eastern Conference Finals, Montreal took a 1-0 series lead in their first game against Carolina to a surprising score of 8-3 Habs, serving the Canes their first loss of these 2026 playoffs. Teams who take a 2-0 lead have an 88% success rate at closing the series, but if any team can overcome that statistic, it's the Colorado Avalanche. I expect a dogfight for these next two in Vegas, and that all starts this Sunday, May 24th. But until then, as always, I'm your host, Prescott Chambers for the Avalanche. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you after a Game 3. Avalanche win. Makes me sad. Big sad.